Flash is the final movie of the DCEU before James Gunn and Peter Safran start their slate of movies. And with all the big time characters like Michael Keaton's Batman appearing in this, is The Flash worth the hype? Or is this the final flop of the DCEU? Stay till the end to find out. The most important thing that a superhero movie has to be is fun, and The Flash is definitely fun. You have a multiversal storyline with a whole bunch of time travel shenanigans, you have superpowered beatings beating the holy heck out of each other, you have babies being put in microwaves, like who wouldn't have a good time with that? But the most fun thing about the Flash movie wasn't the Flash, it was Batman. Any scene with Batman, to be honest. Didn't matter if it was Ben Affleck's Batman or Michael Keaton's Batman. Batman is freaking cool just no matter who's playing him. Anytime Batman popped up, my heart rate would just go crazy. Like the dude could have just stood there in his suit and that would have been the coolest thing in this movie. Go Batman. Speaking of Batman, Michael Keaton returns as his version of Batman and he just hops right back into the character as if he's never left. I was almost brought to tears when he first showed up, like I had to control myself, but when he said the iconic line,
"I'm Batman."
Oh, shiver me timbers, he's just so cool. After watching this movie, you're gonna want to see Michael Keaton continue to play Batman, because he's still got it. Oh, and then you have Sasha Calle as Supergirl and, Lord Jesus. This is a Supergirl that was sent to Earth to protect a baby Superman, but she was captured and imprisoned in a secret government facility for years, so she's bitter and everybody is at risk of catching those hands. Calle brings this toughness to her performance that makes Supergirl feel on par with Superman in terms of just how powerful they are. Like everything Supergirl did was so gangster, like she would just walk around and just exude boss energy. And I really hope DC keeps her for the future movies, because Calle did something special with this role. But the most awesome thing about The Flash were the final seconds of the movie, because there was a surprise cameo. Now, I mean, there's a bunch of surprise cameos, but this one in the final seconds of the movie was very surprising. It's surprising because it's a very specific character played by a very specific actor, and when this person walked up, I almost jumped out of my seat and cheered. It just made me so happy. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go watch the movie and then you'll know too. You know what won't make you happy though? That's CGI. You probably heard that this movie doesn't have good CGI, but you hear that so often about so many superhero movies that comment just kind of goes over your head. But let me tell you, hearing about it does not prepare you for actually seeing it. It is... It's atrocious. The CGI will remind you of the second Mummy movie when the Scorpion King escapes from his tomb, and when he walks out, the CGI for him is so awful you're just like, oh lord, that's definitely fake. So picture that CGI, but the entire movie. When CGI is that bad, that's all you can see. You're not able to focus on the cool superhero stuff going on because all you're thinking about are these PlayStation 2 graphics. The director of this movie claims that the CGI was meant to be bad because whenever the Flash is running super speed, everything is supposed to look weird for him. And I'm sitting there like, that was probably a bad move, bro. And the Flash movie also doesn't have that great of a first half in terms of dialogue and pacing. The issue with the dialogue in the beginning at least is that it was either too silly or just too basic. Like there's a scene between Batman and Flash on this bridge, they just saved the day, yay, and it's getting a little too silly. Like, oh no, I don't need the bad MCU humor in my DC movie. Like I already deal with it over there, don't bring that stuff in here. And then you have parts where it flashes back to when Barry was a kid and he's talking to his mom, and these scenes are meant to be adorable, but when they're talking to each other, the adorableness felt forced. You know, it was kind of like watching a Disney Channel show. And then you get into the runtime, and The Flash is a 2.5-hour movie, but that first half really drags because the setup takes way too long. In one scene, it will explain what's going on in this new timeline and how they gotta fix it, and then in the next scene, it would explain what's going on in this new timeline and how they gotta fix it, and it just kept doing that for the first half of the movie. And I was at the point where I was like, okay, I get it, things are bad, can you go fix it now? Thankfully, the second half of the movie really picks up, but that first half is a chore to get through. So does The Flash live up to the hype? Well, it's definitely not the greatest superhero movie of all time. I don't know what those celebrities were talking about, but to each their own. I will say it is one of the better DCEU movies. Like, you will have fun with it, but this is definitely a type of movie that you're gonna watch once and then probably forget about it a few days later. The Flash is not what I wanted, but I'll take it. Like sugar-free soda. Now, one of the better DCEU movies out there was Shazam. Check out my review on it by clicking on the box right here, and if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, do the Menage a Trois, and I'll see you in the next video.